G'day guys, welcome back. I'm going to do a green pour today. Haven't done green for a while. Well, I tend to put green and blue together, but this is all green. And I'm going to do a dirty pour. So instead of layering the paints in my cup, I'm just going to pour them all in and cross my fingers and hope for the best. So Mont Marte paints today, the Studio Acrylic. This one's called Sap Green. That's that guy there. And then this one is sap green with a little bit of blue in it. It's probably a little bit too blue, but anyway, we're going to go with it. So I need two dark colours because the others are all quite light. This one here is emerald green, which is an odd name because it's so pale. This one is called light green. And then I've got my white. So basically that's all it is. Now this is just a little guide, 25 by 30 centimetre canvas. I'm pretty much in self-isolation at the moment. There's not much happening at my work, so I probably won't be getting much in the way of income. So I'm going to paint my little heart out while I can do a few paintings a day. So hopefully you won't get sick of my voice on YouTube, but anyway. It is what it is, hey? We make the best of it. Now, the cells. Spot on treadmill silicone. I have got in my little cups 50 grams of pouring medium and 50 grams of paint. That's 100 grams. So it's just over 3 ounces. So let's just do 3 drops in each. So usually 1 drop per ounce. And I won't put any in the white. The colours are... these 3 greens are semi-transparent. This one's opaque and the white is opaque. Actually, I should probably do that just because I've got opaque, semi-opaque, semi, and then opaque. Well, not that I'm going to layer them, but you know what I mean. Try and keep the opaques away from each other. So when I first started pouring about 3 years ago, I just literally poured all my colours into the cup and then tipped it over, and that's what I did. It wasn't until about a year or so later that I started actually layering the colours. So let's have another go at my original way and just pouring them all in. When I started, I did use the coconut milk hair serum because I didn't know about the benefits of this silicone, the treadmill silicone. So we'll just pour all that in. So I've got about 500 grams of mixed paint here. That will be sufficient to cover this little canvas. As I said in the previous video, you know, rather have too much than too little, definitely, because then you can stretch your painting. I'm just trying to clean up paint. I've spilt paint on the floor and I stood in it. I don't know where it came from. I think it was that little blob there. Anyway, there we go. Right, so we've got the white in. Let's go with the green. I'm just going to sort of swirl it in like that just so it doesn't all go in on the same spot. Just kind of swirl it in. It's much faster than layering paint twice. Every colour. Twice. We should get more of a blended background, hopefully. All right, this one, give it a swirl around, probably about 6 inches up above the big cup, because you want a little bit of weight behind your painting. You want it to fall straight through, not just sit on top. Keep those cups in case I need to reuse them. And in we go with the teal. Haven't got any black in this one because I think this kind of technique would really go grey with the black and the white together. So you've got to think about your colours, you know. Obviously greens and white will go well, but putting a black in there probably wouldn't do too well. And in with the light one, There we go. Colours are looking really pretty already. There's a lot of white sitting on the bottom by the looks of it. Well, the side of the cup's white, but I guess because the colours have been pushed into the middle, the white's kind of crept up the side of the cup. So it looks very white on the side. But hopefully once I've tipped it over, it will be a beautiful blend of colours, hey? Let's do that because it's quite full. I think I'll just flip. Not do like a swirl or a drag, just a flip. Let's see what happens. See, look at all that white. I think that because the white's been pushed out, you know, when the other colours went in. All right. We don't really need to wait for it all to drip down because it's all mixed up anyway. So let's just flip this and see what happens, hey? Ooh. Put a bit of that leftover paint on the corners. See how the paint that you pull out afterwards is kind of stripy? That's why I don't like putting it back in the middle, because it's really quite stripy. If I was doing a flip and drag, you get stripes. That's really pretty, isn't it? Now I'm going to torch straight away because I want big cells. I like big cells and I cannot lie. So let's torch, but not too close, not too close. You guys know that. I've been going on about it for enough times. Years. Not too close. You probably can't even get close enough to pop bubbles. So that tells you how far away you are, hey? Not close enough to pop bubbles. If you're close enough that you're popping lots of bubbles, you're too close. And you're probably going to get clusters and caterpillars. I know I go on about this every time, but it is important. Oh, I'm liking these colours. Look at that limey colour. Trying to get a few more in there. About a couple more in there. Trying to get a couple in there, but not get too close. You can always add more. Those are really pretty cells. Now you can see all the bubbles still in there. Once I start stretching, hopefully they'll pop. Otherwise you can take a little skewer and just pop them. But seriously, if you get close enough to pop these with your torch, you'll be sorry. You'll be too close, you'll get clusters, you'll get caterpillars. Just don't do it. Rather have a few bubbles than over torch. Okay, it's quite heavy. There's a lot of paint on there. And the other thing, when you're doing these flip cups, you do have to have a lot of paint. When you flip your cup, it must pretty much cover your canvas. If you're only covering this much, you haven't got enough paint and you're going to overstretch everything. So yes, there is a bit of wastage, but you go to all the trouble of mixing up the paint, you know, buying it, mixing it up. I'm just going to get a corner catcher, only because I don't want to lose that on the side there. You know, you go to all that trouble of mixing up everything and buying it all, and then it's kind of ruined because you haven't got enough paint and you have to overstretch everything. So make up your paint and then add an extra ounce of each colour, and then you may just have enough. I will tip over that corner a little bit to get rid of some of that. Got a lot of white on the one side and not on the other side, hey? And back again. This is just keeping the majority of the paint on the surface, and then I will still tilt to get my composition and tilt things off that I don't want. But at the moment I'm just trying to keep as much paint as I can. Make sure that you tip your paint back again before you let your corner catcher go, otherwise you're just going to lose too much paint over the edge. Great little things, corner catchers, and make sure you take it around like that, otherwise you might drip Wow, this is so pretty, you guys. I'm gonna have to start doing flip cups like this now all the time. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's so pretty, and I haven't even finished tilting yet. Wowzers. I might even just leave it like that. Wow, that is so nice. I like how they've got this paler section here with the white, and then we've got the lime through there, and they've got those pops of the teal. Now, I think this corner's a little bit busy, so I might take that corner off, a little bit off that way. So let's just wiggle down that way a little bit. And I just had the weight of the paint down there anyway. Just remember to go back and forward to keep your cells in a round shape. Don't just go off in one direction. I am going to leave that just like that. Love it. Wow. So pretty. And yeah, there's a few little bubbles around, but honestly, I'm happier with having a couple of little bubbles than having caterpillars and things. You know, there's one there, a little one there. I probably got a bit too close there. Got a little bit of blank space there, a little bit of negative space there, and a little bit through there. You know, that's good. I don't like it to be too busy. Let me just get these gloves off. If I take them off gently, I can reuse them. Although now, what do? Maybe hold them up here so I don't get paint all over my fingers. Ease them off, and then I can use them again. Now I'm just going to run my little tool under here. Fix up the corners. And then I'll bring you down so that you can see. Just some colours just work, don't they? And then other colours are just not good together. Okay, that is done. Love it. Just zoom you in, and I'll take you down for a close-up. So we've only got white on one side there on the left. I wonder what would happen if I just poured, instead of swirling the paint in like I did, if I just pour everything into the middle. I wonder what would happen there. Might end up with a lot more white though, wouldn't I? Because all the white would still be pushed to the sides. So I don't know if that would work or not. Let me just turn off this bright light. I'm just going to turn off the other one as well. There we go. It's a bit dark in my studio at the moment. I've got a towel hanging over the window. It gets quite hot in here in the mornings with the sun streaming in. So I've put a towel over the window because I've been doing some blob paintings, and my bottom layer of the blobs has been cracking, and I'm thinking, well, is it because it sits on this table here, and then in the mornings the sun comes in and is heating it up and drying it out too quickly. So I'm thinking maybe that's the reason. So I've put a towel over it. I've got big blankets over my nets, trying to keep breeze off. Look at that. I've got blob paintings under there. Hopefully they're going to dry properly. We shall see. Otherwise it's just, you know, my mix, and I need to work on my mix, which I am doing. I'm practicing mixes, but it takes like 4 or 5 days for a layer to dry. So it's really hard to see what's going to work and what's not going to work because I have to wait so long. So after 4 days, it goes, oh, I go, okay, well, that's cracked. Then I have to start again for another 4 or 5 days. But anyway, let's concentrate on this little guy here. Isn't he pretty? Look at the cells, what the dark rings around the light cells. So pretty. I like it up here where there's a little bit more negative space. You know, you don't have to have so many cells. So I'll try next time again not to torch so much, because I really like that rather than, you know, a bunch of cells like that. But anyway, there we go. Green. Oh, maybe I could do a series in these. There, that's an idea. A Dirty Paw series. What do you think? Anyone up for that? All right. I'll see what colour I can do next. Probably blue, because blue's my favourite. All right, I'll see you real soon. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, you guys. Bye for now.